Our next speaker is Hugh Ekberg. Hugh is the president of Kitchen and Bath at Kohler. He's also one of our own. As you just heard, he graduated with Matt in the Triple M program. He's left here with his MBA and his Master of Engineering Management. He did his undergraduate at MIT in mechanical engineering. He was also one of my students, so there's a lesson here. In spite of that, he's now the president, so he also, I'm delighted he serves on our board at MPD as well as is on others. So thank you, and thanks. Thanks, Fred. Thank you.
All right, show of hands. Who wants to work in marketing for Harley-Davidson and spend 30 days riding a motorcycle across the Tibetan Plateau as your job? All right, it's a good crowd then. So, Matt talked about his background. You wouldn't be able to tell from how we're dressed. My dad was a superintendent in the steel mills in Chicago, but here I am. But I'll also refer back to a discussion Matt and I had. You might not remember when we were talking about career options after Kellogg. And I took a more circuitous route, a couple different companies before I came to Kohler. And I was working at one company, it was a manufacturing company, but didn't have a brand. And Matt was just like, how can you work for a company that doesn't have the power of the brand? And I'm like, well, we do all this cool stuff in manufacturing. Well, I learned the lesson. Now I'm at Kohler, and the power of the brand is a great thing, and design is a great thing. So what I want to talk about today is, under this topic of leadership by design, try to get across to you in the next 15 or 20 minutes, that from, I guess, my learned perspective, leadership by design requires that design is core to your business philosophy, that it's fundamental in your strategies, and more importantly, it's a spark that ignites the passions of the organization. So, having that product, having that design is extremely important. And I'll talk a little more specifically within Kohler, how design is core within our business, in our mission, how design has structured our organization design so that we can envision and create great designs, and then a little bit on process that allows us to execute on those great designs. So Matt can talk about his customers that have tattoos that say Harley. I don't think anyone has Kohler tattoos, but people in the crowd would be going, what's a guy or a company that makes toilets and sinks really know about design? So I at least wanted to get some credibility and throw up a couple third-party pieces of information here. So Fast Company does the United States of Design. Kohler was very, very pleased to be included as one of the 30 companies that get it. So you can see a couple of the other companies up on that slide that were included. I'm actually quite fond of their little tagline there, that Kohler, fixtures that make the loo worth the visit. So again, I thought that was nice and creative. In terms of design recognition, again, we're obviously a company that makes kitchen and bathroom fixtures and faucets. There's actually an enormous amount of design involved in that. Hopefully most of you know that, but if you don't, I'm hoping I'll get that point across. But here's several of the awards we've received recently in our latest International Builder Show, which was back in January. Actually, our new faucet was the product of the show, so we got Best in Show at that show. We were quite proud of that. We don't just do fixtures and faucets. Kohler actually has 4 business units. Any golfers in the room? If so, come up and visit. I can't get you a break on the greens fees, but they're great golf courses. So actually, Kohler has 4 of the top 100 design golf courses, public golf courses in the U.S. Whistling Straits, our course on the shores of Lake Michigan in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, is the #2 ranked design golf course, public golf course in America, behind Pebble Beach. So design is in everything we do, not just in our faucets and our fixtures. This one's actually important. Importantly and correctly, there's a new element of design coming into business, and that has to do with sustainability and caring for our earth. So obviously function, aesthetics and fashion, performance, all those are critical factors in design. Sustainability is becoming an important part of it for us as well. And this is something we're quite proud of. EPA started the WaterSense Award in 2008. So they've given the award 5 times. All 5 years, Kohler has received the Excellence Award, and 3 of the 5 years has been the Partner of the Year. So we're quite proud of that focus as well, that we incorporate that into our design without losing the fashion, the function, and the performance. Innovative from day one. There's actually a great story. 1873 is when Kohler was started in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. John Michael Kohler bought a cast iron foundry from his father-in-law and was making farm implements basically and whatever people needed out of cast iron. In 1883, he decided it would be interesting to see what would happen if you took a bunch of crushed glass and sprinkled it across a red-hot hog scalder, and there it became our first enameled bathtub. In addition to being creative, he was a good businessman. He sold that for 14 chickens and a cow. And the Kohler plumbing business began. But from the beginning, the mission statement drives it. So, this is our mission statement. I'm going to read it because I think it's worth reading. Every day of our working lives, we seek to improve the level of gracious living for those people who are touched by our products and services. Gracious living is marked by qualities of charm, good taste, generosity of spirit. It is further characterized by self-fulfillment and the enhancement of nature. We reflect this mission in our work, in our team approach to meeting objectives, and in each of the products and services we provide to our customers. These are not just words on a wall. These aren't words on a paper. I can guarantee you when we're in design meetings, we're in project meetings, the word gracious living comes up all the time. It's just a form of debate. It kind of serves as our true north. When we have to make a decision, there's a debate of, is it meeting the gracious living mission if we do that, if we provide that, if we build that? We back that up with our guiding principles, so it gives a little more structure to it, if you will. The first one, live on the leading edge of design and technology and product and process. This one we talk about a lot, very important to us, and it enforces and enhances. Design is at the core of what we do. We think about it all the time in our businesses. Also important to note, it's not just about product, it's about process. We have to develop the technology and the capability in process, engineering, manufacturing, so that we can't just envision great products that meet the customer's unmet needs and win in the marketplace, but we're able to deliver those products as well as envision them. We will maintain a single level of quality across all product categories. Our prices will vary based on differences in materials, functions, and design detail, but never vary in quality. So that says the surface finish quality, regardless of the design features, regardless of the functions, is the same on every product. Provide consistent, quick delivery to the end user. Employ service-minded people who enjoy solving problems, are passionate about their work and business, who take ownership and are accountable. Big part of success in design and being a leader is having an organization that is accountable, takes leadership, and takes action. And we reinvest 90% of our earnings back into the company so we can continue to create great products that meet our customers' needs and beat our competition at every chance. So, in practice as a whole, these principles establish our reputation. They will generate market share growth by creating a competitive edge that cannot be duplicated. Foremost, these principles will enable us to attain our mission. They will leave a lasting memory that will make people smile. So, similar to what Matt talked about, this is about creating that emotional connection with, whether it's your customer, our distribution, or it's our consumer. The connection has to be there. I can tell you, I spent dinner last night and breakfast this morning with about 120 showroom associates from our showrooms across the country. And I can tell you, throughout the entire dinner, throughout breakfast all day today, they were smiling nonstop. Now keep in mind, they're in town for 3 days of meetings that start at 7 a.m. and go till about 10 p.m. I mean, it's work. I mean, it's training, it's education, it's learning. We do pamper them a little bit, but the point is they're constantly smiling when they get exposed to the products and learn about the products. So from the beginning, some other product examples. 1911, this is a product we introduced. This is actually leading edge enameled cast iron tubs. But you can see even back then in our communication to the market, it's about having a single level of quality in the product. In 1929, the Metropolitan Museum of Art had an exhibition on modern bath and dressing rooms. Kohler, it was all Kohler product in the exhibition. So even at that point, the importance of design and those features and that fine detail was very important. I love this next picture. This is actually Walter's bathroom in his first house. But the 1960s were a very important time in Kohler because that's when Kohler came out with bold colors. It's also the time that Kohler came out with our trademark brand, the bold look of Kohler, and we still use that name today. And this is another thing that set us apart. We really thought about, You know, people want their kitchens and their bathrooms to be a place that they want to entertain, a place they want to go for some relaxation. It's more than just a room, so it's a very important part of life. So, talked about the mission, talked about how it's core to us and how it's so important and how we think and do everything every day. So that has driven how we design our organization. So this will be, a little more technical, but I'll get through it quickly. But we have a fairly complex matrixed organization. So if you can't read all this, within Kitchen and Bath Americas, which is the business I lead, I have profit and loss responsibility. I also have 4 profit and loss managers that each run a division of that division. Then I also have functional leaders. So I've got our VP of Industrial Design reports directly up to the division president. Our VP of Engineering reports up to the president. Okay, so we've got functional groups reporting to the president, and you've got business teams that have full P&L responsibility, so they've got matrixed relationships with manufacturing and engineering. If I dig a little deeper, this is our sanitary business. And what you'll see is actually we have engineers that report directly to the profit and loss manager of our sanitary business, and they still have a dotted line to the engineering manager. But in all cases, industrial design has a direct line reporting relationship through the industrial design vice president up to the division president. Our intent in this design is that we want to make sure that all members of this organization, engineering, industrial design, marketing, manufacturing, have an equal voice. We want to create good, healthy, productive conflict. I won't say this is the most efficient organization. I will say it's the most effective organization. It takes a lot of work. It's very hard work, but you need that interaction. You need that conflict. You need each group fighting for what it wants to get the best outcome. It is a lot of work, but we find that it delivers the best outcome. And so does that group deliver? Some great products. This is a great bathtub. Looks great. It's called the Soak Overflowing Bath. So this met a great unknown or unmet consumer need that people in the bath like to be completely immersed in the water. The problem is you have to have a drain in your tub because code says the tub has to drain, and that's got to be a certain number of inches below the top of the tub. Well, let's just create a tub that overflows and then captures the water. So now you can completely immerse yourself in a tub without having a tub this high that you can't get into. So, it's just, getting the whole group that's fighting to meet that consumer need and get the elegant design as well as the function. That's a toilet. Okay? That's called the Hatbox Toilets. This is one of our early creations that we call the integrated toilet, where it looks like a piece of furniture, but that is a toilet. And you can see we display it, not in a bathroom, but with a woman getting dressed, putting on her high-heeled shoes, getting ready to go out for the night. This is a great product. This is still getting us accolades. This is our carbon faucet. Actually created, the lead designer on this is a graduate of the MPD program. But great functionality and a great look all at once. And it allows you to use that all over your sink, but have this great look in your kitchen. The Numi toilet, lots of praise on this one. This one warms your feet, warms your seat, cleans you, dries you, plays music, has a night light, opens and closes automatically. It's actually a great product. It's also a little pricey, but it's a great product and helps build the brand and shows the importance of design. So that kind of talks about our organizational structure and how we use that to drive that productive conflict, hard work, and driving to the right end goal. Our process, I don't know that we're that unique in our process. We do lots of consumer research, market research, design research. We want to make sure we're getting the best information. Those are inputs to our process. We have an advanced development organization that's out there researching what are the best new technologies coming out, what are the best new materials. So how do we bring these things into account to create better processes and create better products? Those are inputs to the process. We create that cross-functional team that fights and argues through the process, but in the end, they're getting to the best output. But something in our design process that I do think is maybe unique to us is we have a process we call design review. And about every 2 weeks, there's a fixed schedule on the calendars where people that are on a project team, they're getting ready to launch a new product, maybe sharing a project concept, maybe at prototype stage, they're sharing their design and design review. What's unique about this is it's actually Herb Kohler's meeting. So our chairman and CEO attends every single one of these meetings about every 2 weeks. And our president and COO, David, also attends the same meeting about every 2 weeks. And this is a very, very strong message to the organization, right? That the chairman and the president, as well as the division president and appropriate group president, are at this meeting during design review, reviewing what's the design intent, what's the research information you had, what are you basing your design upon, what are you trying to achieve, And then having that debate, did you achieve it? Did you think about every single fine design line? Did you think about every function? Did you really meet that consumer unmet need? And you know, more than often than not, you're not going to go to that meeting once. But the intent isn't to go to the meeting and be right. The intent is to go to the meeting and learn something and get better, right? So, you know, I think this process that we have established, you know, we have some great products, and consumers tell us they like our product, and they tell us that best because our market share is #1 in the United States and in China, which is our 2 biggest markets. So here's some of the examples of, you know, I believe kind of bringing art into our product. We have a division called Roburn, so these are some of our boutique businesses, a very high-end vanity and medicine cabinet business that we have. And then Callista is our top-of-the-line designer product line. So hopefully, through that, I've been able to explain to you at Kohler how our view is, how we structure our organization, how that focus on design truly rides through the entire organization. It's built into the fabric of the business, and it builds a passion for the products. The passion you would experience with our employees, with our customers, is truly one of the greatest experiences I've had at Kohler, getting back into a product, into a business with that strong brand. And in closing, I'm sure all of you have seen these word clouds. So, you know, we did a survey of consumers and say, when you think of Kohler, what do you think? So, what did they tell us? When they think of Kohler, they think of quality, design, product, innovation, advertising, all things that we would like our customers to say they think of when they think of Kohler Company. So, with that said, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.